Hello there internet, Mogwai here, and I got another video for you guys today. Today I'm going to showcase some Abzan Midrange. You heard me right, we're going to be playing some Abzan, one of the forgotten tricolor combinations. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a ramble as to why I haven't featured as much Abzan, or why Abzan and stuff like Naya are less represented overall in the current iteration of Standard. So I get a lot of people asking me to play Abzan. I get a lot of messages asking me to build Abzan control specifically, and I'm going to explain a little bit as to why that is a hard thing to do, right? While I do like being original, and I do like providing you guys with, unorthodox deck lists that can be competitive and such, I want them to be competitive. I want them to be somewhat efficient. I want them to have some sort of a niche, a reason as to why I would play the specific color combination over something else for this particular build, right? So if I try to build an Abzan control deck, it just doesn't make much sense, because the reality of it is that I would be taking out blue for green. I would be going from Esper to Abzan by replacing blue with green. That's like how I see it, if I want to build like a proper control deck, right? And by removing blue, I'm taking away all the counter spells. I'm not running Teferi, and I think most importantly of all, I'm just losing out on good card draw. I have to resort to the likes of Treasure Map and stuff. I do think Treasure Map, alongside, Karn, is a very strong package and definitely pretty decent in today's metagame, as Treasure Map does ignore or is not removed by Mortify, for example, even though it is vulnerable to Hostage Taker. I think there's some room for that, but for a pure control list, it just doesn't make much sense, because I have to resort to like stuff like Dawn of Hope and other, sort of like weird enchantment or artifacts to actually get it. And I won't even get anywhere near the card draw power that something like Esper has, right? And obviously I lose out on the most broken Planeswalker in the current metagame, who is Teferi, and like I said, no counter spells either, which tends to be really good for control decks. So by resorting to Abzan, the control route is kind of like off for me, because I just don't, or I can't come up with anything that would even rival the efficiency of not only Esper, but the likes of Grixis, for example, right? Who can be a pretty solid control deck, but is less efficient than Esper because of its lack of enchantment removal, which is very important in today's Standard. So when I look at Abzan, I look at this tricolor combination that's very underrepresented, and I think to myself, well, what can I do? What can this tricolor combination provide me with that other color combinations can't? Like, what is the strength that I can obtain from, fusing these three colors together? And that is what we have right here, what I came up with. I'm not the first one to come up with this sort of, deck style or archetype, but I do really like a specific combination of two cards in this deck, and that is the Hero of Priest and 1 with Vraska, Golgari, Queen. And that is like the main reason as to why I'm like, okay, I want to play Abzan, because Golgari Queen is a Golgari card, and Hero of Priest and 1 is a white card, which means I have to go Abzan to combine these two together. And I think these two are very, very powerful together. Hero of Priest and 1 can give me a bunch of 1/1 white human creature tokens, and Vraska can proceed to sacrifice them to give me card draw. It gives Vraska very easy targets to capitalize on. And Vraska is a very menacing planeswalker, because she goes up in loyalty really fast, because she has a +2, not a +1, but a +2 loyal effect, that obviously a lot of times, if you don't have the proper build, you don't really want to activate, because you don't want to sacrifice a land or a creature just to draw one card, right? But with Hero of Priest and 1, that is very easily enabled. So this this dual card combination is my reasoning for going Abzan, and my reasoning for going ahead and building this deck list. This deck list is a Hero of Priest and 1. I would say mid-range tokens list. It has a pretty mid-rangey curve. It's not really a fast, like, white aggro deck. Even though we are running Dauntless Bodyguard and the likes of Venerated Loxodon, we are a bit slower. We curve out like a normal mid-range build, and we focus on spreading out our board and just capitalizing on our opponent that way, and just out-muscling them with our Swarm. Obviously, the problem with this deck, and the reason why I'm going to showcase gameplay today in Best of 1, is that I believe while this deck is very fun and actually powerful, it just doesn't match up well against two very, powerful decks in current Standard, which are the likes of Esper Control, because of their board wipes, and Sultai Midrange, because Finality right here, which we are running ourselves, that's a 3 of, demolishes us, absolutely wrecks us. So, yeah, it's kind of sad that we lose to two very powerful decks, but we have a very good matchup against everything else, I believe. And in best of one, at least Sultai midrange is much less represented. So you can take this bad boy to best of one, and you can have a very, very good showing. And you can win potentially against Esper Control if they don't draw their, or they're not playing Cry the Carnarium, right? But having that said, this is a powerful decklist deck. Like I said, can take on other decks really well. So as you can see, we have a curve. We have 3 Dauntless Bodyguards, which I like to protect some of my key units, like Hero, Priest, and 1 predominantly, but also perhaps the likes of Shana, Sisei's Legacy, or Tertani's Discordant in the late game. That's what I like about Dauntless Bodyguard. It gives this deck a little bit of extra speed, which sometimes it needs to apply pressure to, you know, slower decks, but also can be useful in protecting key cards, like most predominantly Hero, right? And because he's a 1-mana play, or she, we don't really care about her not being multicolored, because a lot of times we just play her before Hero anyways, right? We have 3 Amara, Soul of the Accord, as a 2-mana multicolored creature that obviously works really well with this sort of tactic. Shana Sisei's Legacy, very powerful unit. She's not vulnerable to the likes of Hostage Taker. Like, for example, this deck can handle Hostage Taker really well, because not only do we have the likes of Shana, which is invulnerable to it, but also Tertani Discordant can counter it later down the line as well if they want to play the card that they stole from us. We have 1 off of Assassin's Trophy, 3 of Knight of the Autumn, 3 Mortify, 1 Unbreakable Formation, 3 Seraph of the Scales, 2 Vraska's Guard Queen, 3 Elephants, 3 Tristanis, 3 Finds, and 1 Vraska Relic Seeker at the very end of the curve. So, like I said, we're not very fast for a Swarm deck, but we are quite resilient when it comes to like actual like creature trading and such. Like we can build a very menacing board, but we're not resilient to AoE spells naturally. Like that is our biggest weakness, right? But the idea of this deck is that we have a Swarm strategy that can handle enchantments really well, and that can just capitalize on Hero, Priest, and 1 perhaps better than most decks out there. I did showcase a Naya Hero list rather recently, and perhaps that one is a little bit quicker and meaner because of the presence of heroic reinforcements. But this one can just, it has a lot of comeback potential, and I like it a lot because of that. It's also very fun to play, you know, obviously important for a deck, and has a lot of key things. And I like the Vraska Relic Seeker at the end. Like I said, it has a tough matchup against the 2 decks that I mentioned, but it's not an unwinnable matchup by any means. And in regards to the sideboard, we got 4 Dress, 3 Craw Harpooners, 1 Kaya or Zav Usurper, an extra Mortify, a Profane Procession, because we be edgy, 3 Vraska's Contempt, 1 Lyra Dawnbringer, and 1 Eldest Reborn. Pretty flexible sideboard that enables us to enhance our matchup versus control, our matchup against mono blue tempo, and also the likes of aggro builds, right? As we have Lyra Dawnbringer, which can also synergize with our 3 copies of Seraph of the Scales. And that is the deck list right there. It's gone through several iterations. I used to run Basilica Bellhunt, but it turns out that in this deck, it's kind of it's harder to pull off. And some of you may be asking why I'm not running Flower Flourish, and that is because I just don't like the card. Even though it technically synergizes with Hero, Priest, and 1 and can enable me to fix up my land curve, I just don't like the card. I just feel like a lot of the times I'd just rather have a Dauntless Bodyguard instead. I'm not a big fan of that card itself, so I'm not running it myself. And that is the build right there. I'm going to showcase some gameplay that I had in yesterday's, or streaming out 2 days ago actually, in Best of 1 Mythic, and hopefully you guys enjoy some Abzan action. I would like to visit this color combination more in the future. Like I think there's other ways I could potentially, you know, approach it, but as of right now, this is like the biggest reason I can think of to play Abzan, right? Like a deck that synergizes with the Hero, Priest, and 1, and that combines, you know, Hero, Priest, and 1 with Vraska, Golgari Queen. Like the rest of the deck is meant to, like, you know, make this worth my time and your time as well, because you're gonna play this deck too potentially, right? And yeah, I've been talking about this deck for like 9 minutes. I kind of rambled a little bit in this intro, but I really wanted to explain a little bit where I'm coming from when I try to, like, you know, build a new deck and come up with a new color combination. It's not always just like, I just don't like to do it for the sake of combining it, you know, even though sometimes I guess there's nothing wrong with that, right? But I always try to find at least some sort of niche or some sort of reasoning for it to, you know, to justify it, I guess. And that's where I'm going to end this. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this bit of a longer deck tech ramble, I guess. I hope you enjoy the games, and I hope you enjoy the daily MTG content. And that's all I gotta say. Have fun watching the matches, I guess. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow with more. Maybe I can play a little bit of Abzan. I want to build like a cool Abzan list, but I don't know. I have to think of ways to like combine those colors. I really like this deck list, but this is another deck list that it just runs the same problem that a lot of builds run nowadays. It loses to Esper Control and Sultai Midrange, therefore it kind of just falls flat on its face. But I do like this hand, and I think it's fine for best of one. When I play Esper, I ask myself why I hate myself. Oh, we all ask ourselves that at a certain point in our lives. Okay, we're gonna drop this instead. Alright, so Atheist Land into Sun Petal Grove into Hero. Thunder Herd Migration. Well, shit. Alright, well, we gotta get going then. Next turn we can play Imara into Dauntless Bodyguard, but it would be very nice for our hero here to live. I could have dropped Imara first and then played this into this. I do miss out potentially on the... I guess I just had to risk it there. Alright, so big boy Reggie Dino is coming in next turn. Alright, we gotta hold back a little bit. And hope we don't die to this huge ass motherfucker. Oh boy. We're not gonna block. Should I preserve one of these to chump block? Or should I preserve the Seraph of the Scales? I preserve the Seraph of the Scales. Because I have one of these to chump block anyways. I would like that black mana to give this Death Touch in case a big boy Carney T comes down. But obviously with this Regisaur Alpha on the board, we are in big trouble. So we're going to try to just not die. That's our basic game plan here. Just not die. And I don't know about you, but I like it. I just realized my opponent's name is Bubble Crab. Big boy Reggie, number 2. But I mean, we got big boy blockers ourselves. These don't have trample, so we can block with Elephant. Like, we have options, which is important, right? And he can't really commit to an attack because I'll just fire back and potentially kill him because I have a total of 10, 14, 17, 18, 20, 22 damage on board. So he can't just go all in. I'm not going to block here. gonna keep it like this because I do want to have Sever the Scales enabled with the Death Touch in case I need it. Like any sort of dino that he plays now gets haste. So obviously, like the last thing I want to see is an Itali, for example. Okay, so Craw Harpooner is gonna trade into that. Not much I can do about that. Before he has like the sword tooth. Well, what is that thing's name? Like the 5/5 that deals 1 damage to everything. For a second, I was worried there. All right, he needs to be careful about just what he opts to attack with, because he's running very low. Wait, really? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're dead. What are you? Bubble crab. Bubble crab, my boy. You're in mythic rank. What are you doing? Did you forget to math, Bubble crab? I guess he just really wanted to attack with his dinosaurs. I get it. Tomorrow or in the future, can we expect some Gwent game for the next expansion? Nilfgaard needs you, mate, please. I am actually gonna stream some Gwent when the new expansion hits. Does it hit tomorrow then? Because I can stream it tomorrow. I am gonna try out the cards and stuff. Do you know what time it's released tomorrow? At 12, I believe. Well, here is the problem. If we are facing what seems to be the Esper control, this is one of our worst matchups. But we could always hope. I mean, it could not be Esper control. Like, as of now, we've yet to see, like, a black source of mana. So, I'm going to be optimistic. And just hope that it's a very slow hand for an Azorius aggro build. Could happen. God dang it. I should have attacked first. Does this man have like a fucking syncope? Oh my god, dude. Alright. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Chemisters. I mean, maybe we live in a world in which he doesn't draw into an answer. The cool thing is we do have unbreakable formation. But this is the turn which we're wide open. Will he take it away now? Yep. We just set up lethal. You're dead. Yes! Yeah, boy! Oh, nice. Oh, alright, let's just keep this. I mean, it's a pretty solid hand. Turn to Amara, going first. Well, never mind. Turn to Hero, going first. That's fine by me. I could mortify this, but it's not like I'm... not really concerned, honestly. Wow. Was not anticipating that. All right, well, the one guy who's playing Settle the Wreckage when we have Find in our hand, that's a bit of an issue. Oh, yikes. I just realized. Bitch! And I think that's GG. Oh, there we go. Set of the wreckage, man. Double set of the wreckage in a Boros. Is that like a mid-range list? With surprise removal? Maybe it's like geared towards like the best of one meta. Like maybe it's like designed to take on mono red while also being able to smork. I don't know, but how do you beat Esper control with that? Like, I don't know. Alright. Well, this deck is working out surprisingly well. Pound me daddy. I'm not gonna comment on that. I'm just gonna go with a no, and hope you understand. All right, Amara. This is a gate deck. First of all. I have a feeling this is the gate deck. Well, if I'm him, I would take away the finality. Or you could just do that. Does he have a board wipe after this? Like, there's... Yeah, the only reason for me to play Fine Finality is to get an extra body on the board now. Oh my fucking god, man. I could cry of the Carnarium, but I'm just gonna choose to cry instead. It seems like the fun is over. I mean, we can hope that he doesn't have another Cry the Carnarium in his hand. Yeah, that could happen. Alright. I mean, that's a fine finality for you. Gonna smack him hard, and then we gotta elephant him. What does he plan on stealing? Nice. 4 in a row. 4 in a row, baby. Oh my god, oh my god. Did I just miss that host? Dude, I was like in trance there. Jesus. How long did it take me to... Oh my god, I'm the best streamer in the world. Well, welcome to this clearly very professional stream, everybody. Thank you so much for the raid, Noxious. Jesus. So how are you guys liking the new the new card backs and the anime cards and all that. Oh, it's a pretty decent hand, actually. We can turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 into elephant. Like, it's honestly, like, this hand is pretty legit. You're out of gems. You know, I would feel sorry for you, Joe, but I really don't. You know why I don't? Because I got anime Domri, anime Stomping Ground, anime Shock, and that's pretty much it. And like anime Negate, I think. I just took 2 damage versus what appears to be mono red. What am I doing? Okay, maybe it's not mono red. I mean, just in case, we're gonna, you know, stop taking as much damage. We're gonna try to play this, and it's going to die to a lightning strike or a shock. But then afterwards, I don't know, man. Maybe then afterwards we can find it back. The mono red matchup will be very interesting. That is a problem, and I do not have an answer to this problem. Now I do. The question is it worth me? Let's think for a second. I don't think it's worth me taking 2 life. I think dealing with this is important. The way next turn can play out. Because if I don't mortify here, my next turns don't make as much sense. And if he has more removal, I'd rather him waste it on this. Alright, so we know he's gonna play these 2 next turn, which means we have 2 options. We either go for Fine Finality into Imara, Fine Finality into Hero, and then it gets zapped, or we play Seraph with the Scales. If we play Seraph with the Scales, he's going to be inclined to just send this all towards my face, which is going to be a total of 5 damage, dropping me down to 8. But I play Seraph with the Scales, and I have a total of 6 damage next turn, dropping him down to 8, which means I can... Potentially locks it on. Yeah, we're going to do this. Yep. Because we gotta, you know, stay healthy, but at the same time, like, we have to end this game quickly. Because you'll just keep top decking damage. It's interesting because I've never played this like match before. Because this was supposed to be originally a best of 3 deck, right? Then it turns out it loses to Esper Control and Sultai Midrange all the time. So, like all the decks that fall into that category, it kind of. You have a Skewer the Critics? Ah, oh, God, no. Not like this. Not like this. No, 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 please. What's my best line of play?
Here comes the DJ.
Your face with the sub beat. I'm doing this because I need that lifelink unit. Like, I really, really need it. I have blockers now, so as long as he doesn't have like as long as he doesn't top deck like that into a lightning strike, that would really suck if I go down this way. And I have a feeling I'm gonna go down that way because he made that play really fast. Oh, please, please, please. Like, what is the opposite of Yu-Gi-Oh? What is, like, the heart of the cards? The lung of the cards. The rectum of the cards. Give him the rectum of the cards, please. Oh, we living. We living. Oh, but he's gonna he could sacrifice the monkey. Oh, he's gonna sacrifice the monkey. If he's smart, he sacrifices the monkey here. Oh, he doesn't have to right now. Okay. All right, how do we do this? We want to do so many things. We want to attack with you. All right, right now we have a total of 3, 8, 12, 15, 16. So he has to block us. He has to block us. The problem is we only have one source of white mana out of our 5 lands, which means that if we go for the finality, this gives us another... We definitely want to attack with this. Definitely want to attack with this. 5, 8. We gotta hope, man. Okay. There's only like a billion cards that deal 2 damage. There's only a billion. No! Ah! Fuck, man. God damn it.